Hello Internet! That's for you, Saul. And welcome to another episode of ShoutStone. Shal is here, and I'm bringing you another Shoutcast from the Hearthstone Beta. Once again, brought to me by a player by the name of Ors. We're going to see another one of his arena matches today, so let's just hop into it without any further ado. It is Malfurion versus Rexxar. Ors playing the part of Malfurion, the Druid, and Anna playing the part of the Hunter, Rexxar. So, I am excited. Looking forward to another game. Been keeping myself busy with things that aren't Hearthstone related for once. If you all saw my cooldown that I did, I think it probably came out yesterday, talked about a great game called Recruiteer. So if you haven't seen that, I encourage you to go watch it. It's a really cool little game that's not Hearthstone, and I know there's a lot of you who probably aren't in the beta yet, and I wish I could get y'all into the beta, but I don't have anything. So, there's nothing I can do. But, let's get into action here. I'm eager to see what's going to happen. And you can watch Ors on Twitch when he streams. It's twitch.tv/IamOrs. All one word, of course. So a little bit of chit-chat, but no actual things going on. Ors seriously wants to talk, but is not being allowed to for some reason. Alright, well there we go. So, first thing in play, little young Dragonhawk. It's an interesting 1/1 minion. I mean, it has the, Wind Fury ability, so it can generally get you, well, sometimes it can get you something, but that's a big example right there of why it's not really that worthwhile. Most hero powers can probably take it out, very cheap minions can take it out. Yeah, it'll get you 2 damage if you're lucky. So you can work it in with other cards and things like that, but it's a little weak. It looks appealing because it has Wind Fury and it's a 1-drop, but yeah, Ors, you see what he just did there? It's a man of my heart. He got rid of that stupid kite. Fuck that kite. Sorry. Anywho. So, no real result from the early play. Waiting on Ors to see what he wants to do here next. Or first, actually. He did just sort of burn his hero power to counter that 1/1 minion, and he is going to drop a Injured Blade Master, which will trigger the secret for Snipe to take it out of play. So, right now, it looks like we're just getting a lot of field clearing action here, not a lot of minion play going on. Snipe is a very powerful secret. Ors is very chatty. Through the only means you have to chat. And if I haven't said it yet, I will say it now. The lack of an actual in-game chat is fantastic. And I hope that they never, ever, ever add an in-game chat to this game. You can chat with your friends, and that's fine, but I don't want to chat with any of the people that I run into on the ladder. I'm sure some of them are perfectly nice, but I have a long history with playing games online, so I think I know better here. So Or's going to drop that Stormwind Knight. Looks like another Snipe to take it out of play. Well, actually, it won't take it completely out of play. So Ors will get to do a couple points of damage and exhaust that Snipe on the higher end minion. And he's going to burn an Arcane Shot to take it out. Interesting. And burns his hero power, and he will drop a Novice Engineer into play. Great little battery card. Awesome for things like the arena. It's a very, very useful card. I think what I've learned here is that Ors needs to spend a little less time talking and a little more time playing. I don't know what he's thinking about right now, but he needs to get some cards into play. I mean, it's still very, very early in this game. I'm not really sure what Ors' game is here, as far as talking after every move he makes. Yeah, I don't know if he's planning to just irritate his opponent into submission. But whatever, he does drop that fancy little monkey into play. And a deadly shot to dispose of it. Pretty nicely done. Another steady shot. Gonna play his tracking to get at least hopefully a card he wants. And not cost him anything too significant. And another point of damage off by the Druid player. Or off the Druid player, I should say. So he does have that Ironbeak Owl now, which is, again, one of my favorite cards in the game. Probably one of the best cards in the game. And it looks like Oars is going to not actually... Oh, yeah, okay. I really don't know what he's doing here. I think he may be trying to completely irritate his opponent into submission. But right now, I think he's just causing irritation to everybody who happens to be watching this match. So I'm sorry. I don't watch these matches in advance, so that's why I try not to do that, to keep my, commentary a little more realistic and kind of in the moment. Starving Buzzard, key component of any beast-heavy hunter deck. Buffed up by Houndmaster. Alright, Oars. Time to stop joking around. It's time to actually play. Or else this game will get out of hand very quickly for him. So, Druid of the Claw, very useful card. The versatility of that, I think, is really great for any kind of, Druid deck to just have the ability to cast either an attacking minion or taunting minion, depending on where you sit in the game. But looks like he's going to drop his Ironbeak Owl to shut down the threat of that Starving Buzzard and nullify its buff from the beasts. So it kind of puts a damper on what Anna had in store using that card. But it's one of the things you got to worry about, because an Ironbeak Owl is almost going to find its way into like every deck you go up against. If not that, then at the very least a Silence or a Spellbreaker. If you build a deck without any kind of Silence, you either are designing it around early disposal or something else entirely, and you just don't really care for, actually being able to hold your opponent off, because you're expecting to probably beat them early. But this is an arena deck, so anytime you come across a card like Ironbeak Owl or Spellbreaker, or Silence if you happen to be a priest, then it's certainly going to be beneficial. Alright, so Doomsayer comes into play. It's going to be hard to dispose of that card. And I don't really think Oars is going to want to play anything on this turn, at least from a minion standpoint. Though he does have that coin, which he's kind of sitting on for a while, but that's a really... Yeah, he doesn't really have the damage to take care of that Doomsayer. So playing another minion is just... I mean, he might have it, I don't know. Well, he's going to try and play that cat. Okay, well, alright, there we go. Now he does. So with the Druid of the Claw in cat form, he should be able to take out that Doomsayer and nullify its threat and put himself in a pretty dominating position. But that's good. But be mindful of that. When a Doomsayer comes into play, don't play extra minions unless you know for a fact you can shut it down. But it looks like Oars was in a pretty good spot, so he's able to take care of business. Gonna burn that Arcane Shot, interestingly enough, on the Owl and not on the Raid Leader, which is kind of confusing to me. Deadly Shot, again, not on the Raid Leader. Then again, that might be random. But alright, he's going to bring the the Rhino out to take care of the Raid Leader. So I guess it all worked out in the end. Can't really complain too much about it. He does end up taking out most of the threat, though that cat Druid of the Claw is still out there. Does have that Shattered Sun Cleric. Can use that to buff up the Druid of the Claw a little bit. Still has his other Druid of the Claw if he wants to put that into play. But he's going to have to make up his mind fairly soon, because right now I don't know what he's doing. Beyond that, as far as how the Hunter player can respond, it's starting to get into a dangerous position for the Hunter player. I'll tell you that much. I mean, obviously it depends on what cards are available, what cards he has in his hand, and what he ends up with on further turns. But that is a little risky, putting that 5/5 minion right in the middle. You want to try and keep your really high cost, high damage and health minions on the side when you're playing against a Hunter. Because if they have to burn Explosive Shot right now, if that Hunter has Explosive Shot, he can target that Druid in the middle, take it out, and do either... He won't be able to take out the Cleric, I don't believe, but he will be able to take the other one out and put critical damage. Another Deadly Shot does not target the exact one that I think the Hunter player was hoping for. Another Steady Shot. And he has to pass the turn, so I'm not sure what card he's sitting on, but clearly it is not useful for him at this moment. Or it's something he's just kind of waiting carefully for here. So, Ancient of Lore that Ors is looking at there could be really good to get the cards from at this point. He doesn't really need the health so much. But those two cards could prove to be really, really valuable to just finish Anna off. And that is the option he will take. Wrath and Innervate, that's a pretty good pairing right there. Now we can just start focusing damage on the hero player. I don't know if he'll want to use Wrath right away, but he can at least play that coin. Throw his Defender of Argus out. And things are getting really, really dangerous for the Hunter player. His health whittles down. Because right now Anna's kind of in that top draw position where it really just depends on what she pulls from her hand. Alright, well, another Doomsayer back into play, but there's clearly enough damage on the field to nullify that threat. But there is that secret in play. Could be any number of things. Could be a snake trap. I mean, I would certainly throw... Alright, so he's going to attack the hero directly. He can actually win the game right now. I'm not sure what he's sitting on. This is a done deal here. He just attacks with that Druid and with the those two minions there, and boom, boom, game over. There it is. So there you have it. Unfortunately, the Hunter player just got back down into a position that she just wasn't getting the card she needed to win this game. It just wasn't happening. You know, you can only be in a top draw position for so long before it really starts to break you down, and where card battery cards become all the more beneficial. So, really useful, especially in Arena, to get the cards that give you cards, because you can't really plan too much ahead, but you can at least get powerful single cards. But anyway, I think that is going to do it. I hope you enjoyed that matchup. Of course, we have many, many more on this channel. You can watch all of my other videos, tons of past Shoutcasts. You can also subscribe because I release new videos every single day. And don't forget that you can find me on Facebook and Twitter. My links are in the description below. And go ahead and like this video, leave a comment should you want to. And I'll be back tomorrow with more. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time.